Hi, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. A special thank you to my patrons, Wild Rose, Lauren Chris, That British Unicorn, Jam Beans, Debbie Elliott, and D. Higgins. First things first, welcome back, you guys. Hey, hi, hello, how have you been? How's your vacation? How was Christmas and New Year's? And also, fun fact, the Capitol was stormed, so that was a thing that happened. Anyway, this is not a political channel. We'll move on from that. We're going to talk about Chantal. She's been very prolific, including one extremely long live that she did on New Year's. I'm going to try and cover all of it in this one video. Forgive me if it's long. I've been gone for a little while. You guys know I talk a lot. I'm going to try and film all of it tonight, but I know she's already gotten one more video out when I'm filming this, and I haven't had the time to watch it. So more than likely, you're going to see two different Jasmines in two different looks. Hope that's okay. And with that, let's jump into it.
Come here, I see you. I'm kidding myself if I think I could escape. Oh.
First video she posts, it's alive because of course it's alive. It's 2 hours long, give or take, and she doesn't really do very much. She's sort of just sitting around and she's complaining about how she's not feeling well and her stomach hurts. So, you know, she's doing a live, chatting with people while she essentially lies on her stomach to try and relieve some of the pain. The major reason why I'm actually playing it is because I want you guys to take note of what she's wearing. She's wearing her like cat pajama top thing. She wears it a lot, but given that the next video that we're going to be getting is her eating off track and she's wearing this exact same thing, I think this is her having just eaten like all of the packaged food and whatnot. We'll see that later. Having eaten all of that junk and whatnot, and she's sort of like recovering, quote unquote, from that. And then after this point, after she turns off the camera, I think she goes directly into a full day binge. So not great, but I just want you guys to note that, especially if you've watched the video, you can see her tone of voice and whatnot, how cavalier and dismissive she is of the multitude of medical symptoms that she has. And she talks a lot about like poop and her poop transplant that she might need because she's not feeling well, and you know how that might help her stomach. And she talks a lot about like Nutella and the dangers of it for her for having it in the house. Just usual Chantal stuff. There's really not all that much interesting. I just wanted to show you guys this and just to note her tone a little bit because it's important, trust me. Next. So this is the video that I just mentioned about her eating off track that she records this whole day. And there's a lot, we'll get into it. And she starts it off with a bang where she's talking about how, you know, eating disorders are no joke, people suffer with it. And basically just essentially being very sanctimonious, I thought, in my opinion. And I understand eating disorders are difficult to recover from. They require a lot of perseverance, strength of character, and there's a lot of mental work that goes into it. Not everyone is able to do it. Not everyone can afford to get the therapy necessary to do it. But the problem is that shaming and holding somebody accountable are not the same thing. If you come on camera and you say, you are a fat pig and you deserve to die because you ate a cheeseburger because you're fat, that would be shaming, right? If I said, you're hideous and unlovable because you're fat, that would be shaming. If I said, you don't deserve a place in society and you will never find a good job because you're fat, that would be shaming. If I say, you are making very poor food choices right now and they're going to lead to even more negative outcomes later, that's not shaming. If I say, you should maybe call your therapist and see if she can talk you out of this, that would not be food shaming. If I say, I think you're using your binge eating disorder right now to eat whatever you want because you know that you have an out with your audience, that would not be shaming. That is me holding you accountable, something that is a very necessary part of addiction recovery. So no, not all criticism is shaming, and this most certainly is not shaming. Not that Chantal's gonna care or appreciate that.
Hey guys. Fan is noisy, I know. Don't mind my hair. I took it out of my ponytail for a bit because it's starting to hurt my head. I'm going to be in these cat's pajamas in today's video because they're the cat's pajamas.
All right, so see, she's wearing the same top. I just want to point this out really quickly. She's wearing the same top as she is in this video that she was in her live. And she's talking about how, you know, her stomach hurts. She just took her hair down from her ponytail. You can see in the other video her hair is in a ponytail. Not that that makes a huge deal. She often has her hair up. I just mean to say that I think these videos are basically filmed in the same day. And in that video, she says it, and she also says it in this video, that she's just been eating crap, you know, and it's been causing her stomach a lot of pain. And now, because we know from the thumbnail of this video and the title of this video that she's going to continue to eat crap for the rest of the day. It's just, it's unfortunately. And it saddens me to see that she has not tried any harder, that she's not pushing herself to try and cut down fast food, because I think if she can just make smaller strides forward, even that would be something. But throwing an entire day out, I don't know, just fast food funeral feels like we're back to square one. Honestly, it feels like we're back to 2018.
So I promised a Torrid haul, or I said I would have a Torrid haul out today, because yesterday I thought, well, tomorrow is so far away that I should have time to get my crap together by then, and somehow get all the motivation in the world to whirlwind this room and clean it. But I don't. Today I don't. I don't know if it will ever come. I know something I just have to do. Just have to start it.
I understand that when you are depressed, cleaning can become a very hard thing to do. I am very fortunate that this is not something that I suffer from on a regular basis. I don't know if I've mentioned before in the past or not, but I had a hormonal imbalance last summer when I had my health complications. Ooh, God, not even last summer, I guess. It was 2018. No, 19. I can't think anymore. 2019, the summer of 2019. And because of my hormonal imbalance, I had a depressive episode. Never had one before, and I don't know, probably not going to have one after. But, you know, never say never. I'm not going to rule that out. I had it then, and I can tell you for a fact that, yes, my house had gotten like that. Not quite as bad. I'm too neurotic, I think, for it to get quite that bad, but it had gotten close. It helps to actually clean your place. You will force yourself to do it. You will hate it every step of the way. But once your room is actually clean, once you get to that point where it's like you've accomplished something, you will feel so much better. Because one of the biggest problems that I had was this overwhelming feeling that nothing I did was good enough and that I never accomplished anything no matter what I did. No matter how hard I worked, nothing ever seemed to actually end, right? There was no projects I completed or anything like that. And just having cleaned my house, I had that really great sense of accomplishment. I felt like, yes, I've done a thing. I managed to do this thing correctly. And it gave me the peace of mind I needed to move on. I really think she would benefit from this if she cleaned. I mean, might not be fun and you might have to force yourself to do it, but trust me, it makes a huge difference.
So I have been eating a lot of packaged food. The last grocery order I did few days ago or whatever, before Christmas, it was a lot of packaged food. It was all packaged food. I'll show you guys everything I have. I can't have packaged food in the house. Plain and simple. I don't know what I was thinking when I was grocery shopping. I think I was hungry and it was online, and I thought to myself, hey, I can manage to just have some packaged food. You know, I'll just mix it with healthy food, and I end up eating it all. So packaged food is a big trigger for me. It's a big no-no. And anyways, I thought today I would kind of show you before I throw out a lot of the packaged food, which is a lot of waste, but you have to realize I would just love to donate it to the food bank. However, I can't leave the house right now. I can't go out and give food to a food bank when I have to be isolating for now. And if I wait, I'll probably eat it.
I know some people are gonna maybe not agree with me on this, which is fair, but I think that she should throw it out. If you have food in the house and you yourself realize that, hey, this is not a food that does good things for me mentally, I'm going to binge on this and it's going to put me in that mind frame where I go through the binge and restrict cycle, you should absolutely throw it away. Food wastage is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I actually incredibly hate food wastage, which is a problem I have because I force myself to finish things even when I shouldn't. But as someone who has had weight struggles, I am telling you, it is not worth your health. If you can go donate it, try and go donate it. But if it's one of those things where it's like, I got to put this in the garbage now, otherwise I'm going to eat it, put it in the garbage. Throw it away. Pour like detergent over it if you really think you might even reach into the garbage and eat it. I know that sounds insane, but I've seen worse things on my 600-pound life.
I know it's going to be really, really, really hard. And ideally I was hoping that I could wean off of these packaged foods. But the more I go through these cycles, I figure that's not going to be possible, unfortunately, for someone like me. Gonna have to be cold turkey, and not just because it's and mostly also because my digestive system is not improving while I'm eating these things, and I need to do that right away. You know, I don't really have the time to ease into this, so
all this sounds fine, but Chantal is really great at making plans. She really is. She's very good at putting like things one right after the other, formulating a, strategy for what she should do moving forward, figuring out something that will actually benefit her. She just never follows through with anything, which is genuinely her problem. If she could just follow through on like even a quarter of the plans that she makes, I think she'd be so much better off in life. I think one of the reasons why she is so good at plan making and why she does put so much thought and effort into like creating an action strategy that she ultimately chooses not to follow through on is because she knows she's not going to follow through on it. So just having made that plan, she thinks to herself, I did a thing. Now, even if I don't do the other things, the things that I actually need to actually accomplish something, she can think to herself, well, at least I did the one thing, right? That was a thing I did. It's kind of like the worst version of when you clean your room, right? You clean your room, you accomplished one thing, and now even if you don't accomplish anything else, your depression is still not going to be quite as bad, at least in my own personal experience. And I think with Chantal, when it comes to motivation and following through with plans, she does that, where she's like, I made a plan. I did one thing out of the 50 things I have to do, therefore I've accomplished something, therefore if I accomplish nothing else, I'm fine. I don't really know what to do with that because everyone suffers from it occasionally, but I don't suffer from it the way that she does. I genuinely don't know how to help her with that. If any of you guys have an issue with procrastination on that level, with like lack of follow through on that level, please let me know what you do to combat it because I'm at a loss, quite frankly. Probably should have looked something up.
Ooh. This is the first casualty. I thought for a pizza night, but I ate it last night. It was really good. So I have a lot of things that are not safe for me to have in the house. Breads, although I haven't eaten that yet. Pretty much all this is like spices, which are fine. They're not seasonings that are pre-made other than a couple, like the Old Bay, which I love. But these up here, even the beans are full of sugar. They look healthy because they're beans, but they're really not. Soup, really not good. Prego has sugar. It's just probably why I crave it over a homemade sauce.
Cool. Yeah, it sucks that you have to throw all this food away, but now you know. Now you know that the sugar in the beans and the sugar in the soup and all of those packaged foods put you in a bad place mentally. Now never buy them again. That's what you have to do. I have some foods that I cannot do. Like I cannot keep cereals, like sweet cereals in the house. Like I have some like protein cereals, that's fine. But if I have like cinnamon toast crunch in the house, I don't have control. I will eat the whole box. Something about it triggers my brain to go, eat it, eat all of it, eat them all. And then like snow peas, if you guys have ever had those, not the wasabi kind, but like the non-wasabi snow peas, I love those. If I have a packet, I will eat the whole packet. I cannot eat just one serving and then leave it be. They're like my favorite thing in the world. So I know myself well enough to know that I will only buy them if I'm comfortable eating a whole packet, which is basically when I'm going on a road trip and that's it. You know this about yourself. Protect yourself from it going forward and don't buy these foods. And I don't know if she will actually follow through with that kind of thinking, because we've seen her admit that, oh, I can't keep chips in the house because it triggers me to binge eat the whole packet. And she will then again go and buy chips, because she said it. She's done this exact scenario where she bought, I think it was like lightly salted barbecue, and then she was like, "Oh, I can't, I can't have them because I tend to binge on them." But then she got a bag of it, and she's like, "I'm just gonna try and not binge on them this time, even though they're literally a trigger food for me." So, I mean, I don't know. Once more, this comes down to follow through, right?
Hey guys, so I ordered Taco Bell for my first meal. It's like 2:30 right now. So Taco Bell, I'll show you what I got.
Okay. You threw out the packaged foods because you were afraid that you were going to eat them because you were scared of going into like a binging episode. So you decided to throw away all the moderately healthy packaged food that you would have difficulty eating one portion of, and then decided to order Taco Bell, which you also ordered way, way too much of, and which is less healthy than the packaged food? I don't understand. Wouldn't it have just been better at this point to just eat the packaged food? Because at least then it would have been moderately healthy. There would have been some amount of vegetables in there, as opposed to eating this stuff, which is just crap.
I got 2 Doritos Locos Tacos with some hot sauce. So I got 2 of these. Pepsi. I'm trying this new burrito. It's got French fries on it. It's like a loaded taco fries burrito. Okay, Sam. And I say, it's just really hard for me to accept that I can never eat here again. And you're saying, don't have that attitude. And that's exactly what I was thinking. Because that all or nothing attitude. But the food is actually addictive for my brain. And I think that for me, I have to treat it that way. I'm gonna bring that up with in my therapy.
She's talking a really good game while literally sitting there on camera and binging. And a lot of people are going to be like, she's so dumb. She doesn't see the difference between what she's doing and what she's saying. Like, that is so weird. But part of it is, cognitive dissonance, right? She's essentially, actually most of it is cognitive dissonance if you ask me. Essentially, she knows what she's doing is wrong. And she wants to avoid feeling bad about doing the things that are wrong. So she's talking a really good game. She's doing what I mentioned before, where she's making an action plan. She's putting together things to make herself feel better. This in no way, shape, or form is for our benefit. We are not meant to learn something for her. We're not meant to watch this and be like, I see. She is correct. Eating disorders are very hard, and I do understand where she's coming from. This is for herself. This is the equivalent of when you're walking through a really scary place and you're like, it's fine, go start real. Ghosts aren't real. I'm okay. You know, when you do that self-talk thing, or you got this, you got this, you got this before an interview, that's what she's doing, but she's doing it with food. She's giving herself as much comfort in the form of words, comforting words and plans and ideas as she can, because she knows that later on there's going to be that guilt. There's going to be that awful sensation of, I fucked up. And it sucks, but part of what you can do to avoid feeling this way is to try and fight the binges. You can try and minimize the damage. I'm not saying that if you are really deep in the heart of like that, I need it and I cannot stop myself, that you should, like that you, if you give into it, that you'll be a bad person. But what you can do is maybe get less. You have control over that. And I'm not sure even now that she has deleted Uber Eats and all the other food-related apps off her phone, which I mentioned you should 100% do. Get rid of all the passwords that are automatically saved. And heck, even like hide your credit cards, put them downstairs, like at the bottommost floor. So it's the most inconvenient, the most difficult for you to go get. Just make it as hard as it is for hard as possible for yourself to go get the food that you want, to order the food that you want. I don't think she's done any of that. She didn't even try and order like one portion of it. She hasn't made any kind of an effort. I'm not really seeing an effort on her part. And one session in therapy will not change your life, so I'm not going to put it on there, but she does have information from past therapy sessions. She does have information from like her past with binge eating disorder, from people on the internet, from just stuff that she herself should have read if she has this diagnosis. She either has it and she hasn't implemented it, or she has done no research, in which case that's somehow even worse.
Anyway, he's trying to get my shadow. You weirdo. Get out of the view. So I want to end the video here. I might eat something later, but I'm not hungry since the McDonald's. And I have definitely eaten a lot more than this. Obviously, a lot more. I think it's just because my tummy is just so messed up from the antibiotics and things I'm going through with my digestive system, which is probably a good thing. So I think I'm going to end the video here. I honestly don't know if I could say that I probably won't eat anything later. So it's getting late. So I don't know, but I'm going to try not to. And so that's what I ate today, whatever I showed you. So tomorrow I'm hoping to really start nice and fresh.
This is post-binge strength. It is really, really easy to think to yourself, after you've just eaten everything under the sun, I will never do this again. I will never put myself in this situation again. It's very difficult to actually follow through with it. That's not true for everybody, and I know it's not true for every situation. From a personal point of view, I will tell you that I went to Hawaii once with partner, and I've always been an overpacker up until that point. I went to Hawaii and it was the worst because we were going all around Honolulu, and then we were going to Maui. And just having to go to different places and having to carry my massive things of luggage from place to place, I made the decision then and there. I'm like, I will never, ever, ever pack like this again, ever. If I really need something, I will buy it. I will take the bare minimum of whatever I need and I will make it work on any trip I'm on, but I will never do this to myself again. And I didn't. I went, I think 3 years after that, I went to Europe for 6 weeks. And I basically took one backpack of clothes with me and one makeup palette and some concealer, and like that was it. I took nothing else with me because I didn't need anything else. And if I did, I like ran out of clothes towards the end because some of my stuff got torn being washed so repetitively. And I just went, we were like the last week that we were there. I was in Paris, just went and I bought a few things and it was fine. Right. And I still actually have those clothes. I wear them. They're very like reminiscent of my time there. You can follow through. That doesn't mean that you will follow through. And with Chantal, she has an extreme lack of will and she has an extreme lack of ability to follow through on most things anyway. So this post-binge strength, I don't know how long it's going to last. sadly. Anyway, next. Yes, the dreaded New Year's live. I gotta be honest with you guys. I love you a lot. You know this. You should know this. I really do love you guys. You guys are the best. I have a great audience. Every single one of you is special and perfect. And if I could, I would make tiny little snow globes to put all of you inside so I could keep you on my mantle in both a creepy and loving way. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. Mostly because it would be unethical. And the one time I tried this with an actual human person, they called the cops? Like, what the hell? All that is to say, did not watch this. I cannot make myself watch the entirety of this live. It is too long. I think it ended up being a complete 8+ hours. I think there's a copy floating around on Kiwi Farms, but there is no amount of money that anyone can pay me to watch this live. There just isn't. I'm sorry. I love you, but no, I will not do it, and you cannot make me. Crazy horses on drugs could not make me do this. And y'all should know, I don't like horses, so that says something. I have gotten the highlights, of course, from Twitter. Couple of things I can tell you. One, the deplorable state of her living room. Oh my God, the number of boxes there. I would actually die. Fun fact, when I was 13 years old, we went to see my mom's cousins, I want to say, in Chicago. And we stayed at their place. My mom's, aunt was there, and she really wanted to see her. She was not well. Anyway, we stayed at her cousin's place. As all brown people know, you are wont to do. If you go to a place, you stay with your family there. And their fridge is really messy. It was really messy. And not dirty, just disorganized. I couldn't sleep at the thought of that fridge being messy. I literally spent an hour and a half at night cleaning the entirety of their fridge, taking everything out and reorganizing it in the manner that I thought worked best. And then everybody woke up the next morning and they're like, who did this? And they're all looking at each other. And I'm just sitting there in the corner and I see my mom turn her head just slightly and she's like, I know it was you, you little shit. Anyway, she didn't say anything then, but I got an earful about it later on because it's probably a rude thing to do, to go and reorganize somebody's fridge without asking them. That said, I would die. I would die in her house. There's no other option. If I lived there, I would have to die. I would suffocate myself underneath that cardboard before I would live there. Just no, just no. Secondly, she had this really gleeful expression. She held up this little blood monitor thing, the blood glucose monitor that she had. It read 15.1. I just want you guys to understand that's actually that's a pretty bad reading. It's not the worst that you could possibly get, right? I think the 15.1 reading indicates that you have moderate severe diabetes. Generally is kind of where you fall. That's moderate to severe. And if it's 20 or above, it indicates serious issues where you can go into insulin induced, I think it's coma. I could be misremembering. Either way, this is not great, especially because she checks her blood glucose levels to see whether or not, she should still eat. And then she goes on to eat more. So it's pretty bad. If you guys really want a good, I guess, synopsis or a condensed version of her New Year's Eve thing, I recommend going to JustSayin's channel and watching her series on it. Those are the only two bits of it that I'm going to cover. Those are the only two bits I cared about. She did a lot of crying from what I've heard. She did a lot of farting from what I've heard. And it was just normal, regular, boring Chantal shit. So I don't care. She was wearing her really shiny, sparkly disco dress. I think it looked nice on her. Her lipstick looked nice. She looked good overall. So, for whatever that's worth. Anyway, next.
Oh, fan. I'm about to clean my room. And I'm just taking a pre-cleaning break. How that works is basically you come to the agreement in your brain, okay, I'm going to clean my room, and then you take a break from thinking that. You take a break before you start. Alright guys, you ready for the big reveal? Ta-da!
My God, this room cleaning thing has been weighing on her. I think it was Smokey Steve and Mark who said that. Steve from Smokey Steve and Mark. I always like to just assume they're one person. Anyway, he said that it's like an albatross hanging around her neck, and I think that is a very correct description. It literally has been such a huge weight on her back. You would think she was Atlas, my God, the way she's been going on about this room. It does look very nice, though. Now that she's cleaned the whole thing up, you know, she's done a good job. It looks pretty. It does look a little bit like first year in college-y, you know, with the big tapestry and the fairy lights. But hey, if she likes it, you know, good for her. I'm glad. It looks nice. It's clean. That's all I really want out of life, is a clean house for Chantal.
And they actually work together, the therapist and the dietitian. They have very similar philosophies when it comes to, I'm not going on a diet. People will say, how's the diet going? I'm not on a diet. This is eating disorder recovery therapy. And I will talk more about that later on. I want to give it a chance. I want to learn more. I am learning things I have actually not learned before, and I'm excited. So
I would be really interested in that. It's one thing to read about, you know, eating disorder recovery and just see it from one point of view. And it's another, I think, to view it from the point of view of somebody that you quote unquote know, right? Like Chantal doesn't know me, but I know Chantal. I know her in a lot of detail because of what she puts on the internet. She puts up a lot of her life. So it kind of feels like I have a really irritating friend. And I would be interested in that if she talks about it like very openly, not like misleading and lying and whatnot. And you can tell, right? Maybe not immediately, but eventually the truth will out. So if she's honest about it, I would be so interested in that kind of content from her.
So, anyway, so I'm just so happy. I'm just really emotional right now. I think I've been more emotional all day. It's as if therapy opens vaults inside of me, emotional pockets, and yeah, I'm like that all day, but it's not really a bad thing.
All right, to this point, I will have to agree. Therapy does open parts of you up, and sometimes they're not great parts. Sometimes there's things about your character that you learn that you didn't want to learn, that you aren't happy to know, but that you should know, that you are glad in the long run, if not in the short run. Like, for example, I'd always considered myself to be a pretty compromising person. I'd always thought I'm a very accommodating, easy, go with the flow kind of a person. And I'm not. I was just the most accommodating, go with the flow type of person in my family. And it gave me a really false sense of reality about my personal behavior. And then I got married and I moved and I made a whole new group of friends, and interacting with them, I learned that I am very unreasonable. I'm very, very stubborn. It's a problem. I'm trying to be better, but I'm very, very stubborn. I'm very hard to convince if I think I'm right sometimes. And I also am very neurotic. I'm a very highly neurotic. I like plans oh my God, we went to China and Japan, partner and I with my siblings. I had a day plan, and every single day was planned down to the half hour. That's how neurotic I am. That's the sort of person I am. I'm not easygoing. I'm not just fun, go with the flow type of a person. I'm just not. I never have been. I just had a false sense of idea of who I am. And learning that and accepting that about myself and trying to better myself is really, really difficult. I'm still working on it, getting there, hopefully, maybe one day. But this idea that therapy is just always going to be sunshine and roses. It's just false. It's hard. I cry every single therapy session. I cry. I bawl my eyes out, and it always sucks. And I only occasionally feel better, but I always feel like I've grown a little bit more, which I think ultimately is what therapy should be about. So not surprised that this is happening. And I think it's a good thing. I think she can grow from it if she wants to, if she lets the healing in, as it were. Not to sound too much like a hippie, but anyway, next. And finally, we have the try-on haul. I'm actually really excited about this. I think I said before, these are my favorite videos of Chantal's to actually like talk about, mostly because she has a very unique shape and she has like weird taste. And both of those things are good in my opinion, I think. It's easy to dress someone who's like really slender and skinny. It's significantly harder to dress someone who's got a stomach. And people who do have a stomach would love to see this video and be like, ah, this is what I can do. You know, this is what I can wear. So I'm all for it. I actually genuinely like these videos. I really wish there was a way where she could do more hauls and not spend quite as much money. I mean, I said like thrifting would be great for her. She's never going to do it because it requires going out in public. But that's the kind of content that I would love to see from her. If she was just like this and like healthy cooking and like walking vlogs, I would be like over the moon.
Strike a pose. Do. Strike a pose. I feel like a supermodel with this fan going, blowing my hair fibers all out of my head, but whatever. Hey guys, hey. Hey guys, hey. How are you? How are you?
I like the top, to be very honest with you. I really do like it. I think it looks good on her. It's giving me real like Carole Baskin vibes. I can't now look at like a big cat print and not think of like the TikTok day, like just the people on TikTok dancing to Carole Baskin. And I can't even say Carole Baskin. I have to say it with like Joe Exotic's like accent, like Carole Baskin. I don't, it's permanently ingrained in my mind.
They're leggings, so they're stretchy and comfortable. I think that's very important as a bigger person. Whoa. Is being comfortable. So these are, I think they're a 5X. This shirt is a 5X. So these leggings have leopard print on them as well. And the shirt, so it matches with the shirt. The only thing I need is some leopard print boots, which I do not have. Because at the moment, wearing boots, I mean, it's COVID, so it's not like I really go anywhere. So, yeah, so I'm going to try these on with this shirt. All right. I didn't make my bed. The rest of my room is clean, as you saw in my video. If you didn't see it, check it out. But, anyway. And I got this shawl. Now, I got it to go over my dress, because the red sweater wasn't working. I think this is a 5X. It's like a shawl kimono kind of thing. It's sheer. Just a black sheer kimono. Fancy one for like going over dresses or tank tops or things like that.
I love sheer kimono tops. This is such a good thing. I'm so glad this is a thing that exists. I actually wear them a lot. So I've told you guys before, I'm like self-conscious about my lower half. So I tend to buy a lot of like longer things sort of that will like flow over my like hips, and it's a style I like. And so having those like sheer kimono tops gives me the ability to wear like a tighter shirt and makes me feel more comfortable. Does it do anything in terms of providing coverage? No. It doesn't like disguise my hips any. It just provides me with a shield, psychologically speaking. Just makes me feel a little bit better about wearing it. That's all.
So these are a 4. Can you usually get away with 4 with leggings because they stretch? So these are cute, aren't they? Like the plaid.
I said this before, I'll say it again. Do not buy patterned leggings if you don't have like very skinny legs, or if you've got like an area that is likely to stretch the material. Because if you've got a solid color, it's not noticeable. But if you've got a pattern and that pattern is disrupted, your eye was like immediately drawn to it, especially if it's got like lines to it, right? Or something that's supposed to be very like crisp. So like an organic pattern, kind of like a camo, you will not be able to notice too much if it's distorted a little bit. But like something like checkers, yeah, it's all gonna be sharp, neat, squares and edges. And so when that's distorted, your eye is like human beings are very in tuned with finding like patterns and disruptions in patterns. That's why we see like faces everywhere. So having something like that is much more likely to draw attention to a problem area than it is to sort of distract from it. I just don't recommend it. If you don't care, then that's all fine and well, right? That's totally up to you. But if you do care and you are trying to look for something that will like sort of diffuse the prominence of a certain feature, maybe don't put it in like tight, like very rigid patterns. That's all.
So this is not how I thought it would be. This is a 5X, but it looks like it's made small. It's not the stretchiest of material I thought it would be. But the color is so nice. I have a matching lipstick and I just love the color. So these are 5X. I think I showed you these. I showed you guys these. These are going to be weird. I'm going to try them on, see how they fit. And this is the shirt. So all that was from Torrid. Oh, this one too. I wore this for Christmas though, so you guys really already saw this shirt. But this is the one from Torrid that I wore for Christmas. It's like the burgundy lace.
Both the flower top and the lace dress are nice. I like them. I like the colors on them. I think Chantal definitely has a little bit more of a cooler undertone. So like cooler colored clothes look really good on her. Especially like pinks and burgundies, I think are really her jam.
And this shirt is from Pennington's, which I really like it. I like these shirts that have like the bead detail on them.
Wow, I actually really like the gray top too. That is something I would totally wear if I liked sweaters. I don't, but if I did, I would totally wear that. I like it. I mean, like I'd put it up there with my 2 other sweaters that I own. I think it looks really good on her, and I think she did a great job overall. So far, the pieces look really good. I'm excited to see what they look on her. She looks good. I like it. Carol Baskin approved. Okay, the top actually looks very lovely on her. I think it works very well with her complexion. I think the pattern is cute, and you guys know I don't like really large flowers, so I think this is a good balance. I don't think it looks good with those shiny pants. Those shiny pants are only going to work on something that's a little bit longer so that it covers the bottom part of her stomach. Otherwise, the reflection of like light in those pants just draws more attention to it, and it kind of makes her look a little bit pregnant. This is a great outfit. I love the shirt. I love the earrings. I love her just overall look. I love her makeup. Everything looks great in this except for the shiny pants. If the shiny pants weren't there, I think this outfit would be like a 10 out of 10. Chantal looks fantastic here. And yes, okay, you can say, you know, she doesn't look good in anything because she's fat. But for whatever else it's worth, I think with the fat being excused or understanding that she's a bigger lady, she has dressed herself very nicely here. The dress looks really nice. I really like it with those leggings too. They look very cute. Even the pattern on them isn't like too bold, so it doesn't look like odd or anything if it's being distorted. I love it. 10 out of 10 for both of that. I can't believe I have to say this though. Those earrings do not fit. You guys see this, right? Like her neck has basically just disappeared in the past basically year and a half that I've been watching her. And what's happening is that the additional fat here is essentially pushing those earrings up. So her earlobes are here. This is where they should be, and they should sort of dangle down like this. Instead, they're sort of lifted up like this, and it looks uncomfortable, and I'm sure it feels uncomfortable for her too. I would not wear them. Even if they fit her, I personally would not wear them because they're not my style. But I very rarely do I say this, but I actually think those are hideous. I don't think they're anybody's style. And I realize, of course, that I'm wearing like pretty gaudy earrings myself, but whatever, okay? I can be a hypocrite about earrings if I want. Those leggings are a no-go. I don't like them. They don't look good. I think the exact problem that I was talking about before is very exemplified here. If you look at it, where the pattern is sort of distorting, it's actually drawing more attention to the problem areas of her leg. Don't like it. Those other black leggings look so much better, like the sort of semi-sheer, lightly patterned black ones, the ones that weren't shiny. Those were great. These are terrible. Return them, please. Next.
Hey guys, hey! Welcome to today's video. Today, Pete and I are going to cook and eat a traditional delicious Korean dish called bulgogi. I have had bulgogi before at several different restaurants in my lifetime, but Pete has not. But he's a big fan of beef, and I think this savory and sweet marinated beef dish will be just the thing to get him trying new things. Typically, bulgogi is made with thin strips of ribeye, sirloin, brisket, but as long as the beef is very, very thin so it stays tender and can fast fry. Also, it is marinated in a sweet and savory sauce, which I'll show you all the steps in this video. And we're gonna fry it up and eat it over a bed of rice with some kimchi. So let me take you guys shopping where we got all these ingredients needed and show you guys how it's made. All right, let's get to.
I have never eaten bulgogi before. Can you believe that? I've never eaten it. Partner actually really likes those bowls. So I've made stuff that Chantal's recommended before. Not necessarily her recipes, but every once in a while she'll like recommend something, or she'll like, oh, I made this. And I'm like, I kind of want to have that. And then I'll go back and I'll make it. I'll see if I can make one with like crispy tofu, because I haven't had tofu in a little while and I really like it.
So you're going to need some kind of container to put in the fridge. You can marinate this for up to 24 hours. I'm gonna do it for probably about 8 hours or so, and at least 2 hours is ideal. So I'm using, this is 0.8 of a pound, so it's not a full pound, but this is frozen sliced beef ribeye. So ribeye is probably the best beef. You can use any beef, just make sure that it's sliced very, very thin so that it's tender no matter what. So very thin sliced. Got this at T&T supermarket, Asian supermarket, for $10.94 a package. So you're gonna need the beef, you're gonna need some salt of choice, some garlic, some shallots, some ginger, some light brown sugar, black pepper, rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, soy sauce, and chili garlic sauce, or you can use gochujang. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but it's a chili paste, but I'm gonna use this chili garlic sauce.
Oh man, if you guys haven't had gochujang, I so recommend it. It is absolutely delicious. I do like when I'm feeling extra lazy and it's not like super cold outside, I'll make partner go outside and grill. I'll just put some gochujang on some like chicken breast or thighs or whatever I have sitting around in the fridge, and a little bit of hot sauce and some like olive oil, and I'll just stick it outside on the grill. It'll grill and it's delicious, and the sugar in there caramelizes onto the meat and the vegetables, and it's so good. Oh, it's so good. I've actually done a gochujang fried chicken too. Like I mixed the gochujang into like a buttermilk mixture, and I soaked the chicken in there with a little bit of hot sauce in there as well. And then I like dredged it in like a lightly seasoned flour and then fried chicken. Delicious. Very bad for you. This is one of the things I made when I have like people over and I know that they're going to eat all of it, and then I won't have to like keep leftovers in my fridge and I just eat like one piece. But it is actually also very good if you guys want to try it.
Hold it straight. Are you holding it straight?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just gonna let it caramelize. Caramelize?
Yeah.
What do you think of the smell? Okay, we just did a thumbnail. All right, we're gonna try it here. I have mine with some kimchi. Beauty bite. I love it.
I think it'll take me a few bites to see how I feel.
What's your initial thought?
It's a bit spicy.
It is. It has garlic chili paste.
Ooh, that looks real good. 10 out of 10, I would 100% eat that. Like, that actually looks really good. My only, I guess, concern here is that she was poking at it, Pete's and her both, I think, were poking at that meat a lot, and given how razor thin it is, I feel like it's just going to be like ground beef at this point.
It tastes pretty much just like the restaurant one I always get. Tender meat. Almost tastes like ground meat. That's how tender it is. It's a bit spicy. Bit sweet and salty, and just really good overall. That's a win recipe right there. So easy.
Yeah, see, she's poked it enough. I feel like it's basically turned to ground beef. It'll fall apart. I would personally err on the side of like cutting it myself in like slightly thicker pieces if I'm making it at home and I'm not an expert, so that I don't end up like mincemeating it when I'm like in the cooking process. If you're an expert, of course, you know what you're doing. I mean, get the razor thin meat. You're probably going to get a much better end product. But since I don't know what I'm doing, and I think the texture for something like this is important, I would recommend like maybe slicing it yourself or getting something that's sliced a little bit thicker so you don't end up ruining it yourself. Anyway, I like this video. The food looked good. Chantal was totally not obnoxious. She didn't eat like on camera more than a couple bites. This is what I want her food content to be. I don't want her sitting there eating like an entire thing on camera. Just take a couple bites, be like, this is great. This could use this. Maybe a little bit more X, maybe a little less Y. And then that's it. Like, cap it. You're done. It's over with, you know? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jasmine, the sequel. No, why am I doing this? I don't need to be doing this right now because I know there's more videos. This is the first half of it. And so you know, I'll be back later with different makeup. Anyway. So I'm an idiot who apparently doesn't know how verbose I can be. The second half of this video, where I was going to be in a different outfit, is legitimately like an entire other hour long. So rather than subject you guys to 2 hours of me just talking, I'm going to split it into 2 parts. And I know I said I was only going to be uploading Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but you guys will be getting just the second half of this video as a catch-up tomorrow. So 2 Chantal videos. Yay! Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you guys hated it, you can give me a thumbs down. That's totally okay. I respect everybody's opinion here. You know, if you like this video, subscribe. And hit the notification bell. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty at this. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when I upload any video right away. I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram, where I've got all my food stuff and my life stuff, and it's a little bare because I haven't uploaded anything because I took a real vacation. Like, I was just gone. I've got Twitter, where you'll find all of my opinions on random things, some shit posting. All of the updates from the channel also generally tend to go up there. So if you guys are interested in that kind of information, that's where you can find it. It's also, by the way, the place where you can interact with me the easiest. And I've got Patreon. Think of Patreon as a tip jar for the internet. So if you like the job that I'm doing here and you'd like me to continue, hey, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. You don't have to. It's not necessary, but I would seriously appreciate it. If not, consider becoming a community member. We've got that now. Yay! I do offer a bunch of perks, so you guys can check those out down below as well. And as always, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace. I know you guys are wondering, but no, I don't now own 2 hoodies. This is just like a sweatshirt. See? No hoodie. I wouldn't betray my one hoodie. You guys know this. It's my favorite.